Canadian Gordon. Gordon is the taller fighter by 2 inches, but the stat that jumps off the board, 71-inch reach for Gordon, giving him a 3-inch reach advantage. Let's get it inside to Joe for the introductions.
And here we go, ladies and gentlemen, our next fight tonight, 3 rounds, this in the UFC Bantamweight division. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the blue corner, his background jiu-jitsu. At 5 feet 5 inches tall, he weighed in officially 136 pounds. In 13 professional fights, his record stands at 12 victories and 1 defeat. Fighting out of London, England by way of Baghdad, Iraq, here is Amir, the Prince Albazi. And across the octagon, his opponent fighting out of the red corner. His background is in jiu-jitsu and kickboxing. At 5 feet 7 inches tall, he weighed in officially 135 pounds. His professional record, 12 victories with 3 defeats. Fighting out of Toronto, Ontario, Canada, here is Malcolm X Gordon! And your referee in charge of the action is Herb Dean.
Our octagon official for this one, Herb Dean. Thank you, Camila. Round number 1 ahead. Scheduled for a maximum 3 5-minute rounds of bantamweight action. There is Malcolm X Gordon getting warm and loose in the red corner. He faces Amir, the Prince Albazi. No touch of gloves. Albazi wears the grey, Gordon in the black. Now look out for the striking of Gordon. He has since everyone's last seen him, teamed up with Bazooka Joe Valtellini, who is like a kickboxer of the highest order if you're not already aware of his work. Glory champion.
Yeah, he also has Sam Stout in his corner as well, who was a long-time UFC roster, on the roster, pardon me, and a very, very good kickboxer as well. So no doubt sharpening those kicks.
One of my favorite guys to watch of all time was Sam Stout.
Yes,
I love to watch him.
He was awesome.
And we've got to tip the cap as well then to Sean Tompkins, who was kind of at the, well, the genesis of all of those guys, right?
Absolutely.
And we see that long reach being put to use by Gordon early. As Albazi tries to tap the hand, punch that right through. These guys were staring at one another. They were signed to another organization in the Middle East.
Oh, nice left hook.
Yeah, little check hook right there from Albazi.
So Albazi got the call for this one, and just 3 hours after he put the phone down, he had to turn on his heels and go into quarantine to get over to Fight Island.
Yeah.
Pick up the mouthpiece, the groin guard.
Hey, listen, you got to do whatever you got to do.
Testament to the kid.
You get a UFC debut, you get the opportunity to fight for the biggest promotion in the world. And make no mistake, when you start mixed martial arts, that's the goal. That's where you want to be. So if you get that call, if you got to do 2 days to quarantine, 2 weeks, they don't care. They'll do whatever it takes to be a part of the greatest organization in the world.
Nice calf kick there from Albazi.
And to be honest, I'm not surprised in terms of his character. The man from Iraq, they had to flee as a family from the war to Syria. They then went to Sweden. His parents moved to London.
Real nice single leg, beautiful work.
Turned him all the way down to the canvas. His parents moved to London when he was just 15, but he said, I'm not moving anymore, Mum and Dad. And he stayed with his 16-year-old brother when he was just 15 by himself. And that's when he started wrestling and eventually found mixed martial arts. And here he is today, making his family very proud.
Well, certainly paying off. That was a really nice single leg. Prior to that, we saw a nice body kick as well. So it's piecing it all together nicely here.
And do you know what? That is the exact same single leg that Alexander Gustafsson does. I think that's what he took John Jones down with, and he would have been on the mats with him at All Stars.
Malcolm X does have a very aggressive guard in some of his highlights. He has some unusual submission transitions. So he's trying to set something up here. Albazi not giving him much, though. Straight on his back. Look at that. Beautiful. Kind of curious, though, because he backed up out of the guard and then just goes right back into it, you know.
But
now he's in half guard, though.
For a moment there as well.
He was trying to take the back, though. Good for him. Now he's got half guard.
Good shoulder pressure here from Albazi. Really putting that shoulder into Gordon's face. He's in half guard. He's trying to pass. He's got his shin across that knee. And he's going to try to push that down and then peel his knee up through the legs of Gordon and either go to mount or push it through to the side, and take side control.
Yeah, Gordon's got the lockdown, though, if you see the way the legs are laced for the people at home. That's called the lockdown. That makes it hard for Albazi to pull that leg through. But you're right, Paul. That's exactly what he was trying to do.
Yeah, he's tied up now.
UFC Fight Pass is a new home for our UFC Unfiltered video podcast. This week, Jim Norton and Matt Serra are joined by Calvin Cater to discuss combat sports' hottest topics. Sign up and watch today.
And there it is.
Yep.
That's how you pass it, though. Smash him in the elbow a couple of times. They'll open up the legs, trust me. Gives them something to think about.
And
super high mount here as well.
You were celebrating the grappling skills and pedigree of Malcolm Gordon, who has a black belt. It's a purple belt for Albazi, but he didn't get the memo.
Yeah, sometimes that doesn't matter, right, Mike? Not in MMA.
It does not matter. You know, sometimes, you know, when you start MMA, you might stop training in the gi.
Right.
Because obviously there's so many different disciplines. You can't do no gi jiu-jitsu.
Nice
wrestling,
work. All right into a triangle.
All those
nice
different things,
guard.
and still keep up time in the gi. So
Loose.
you
He's trying to adjust it. Sorry, Mike.
No, you're good. I'm saying you kind of abandon the ranking system of the belts. As we see here, though, the jiu-jitsu skills are really good. That is a tight triangle.
It's still on the foot, but he's pulling the head down and adding pressure. He doesn't want to adjust it too much, and he doesn't want to lose that grip.
Wow. In his UFC debut, with 3 hours notice before he went into quarantine, Amir Albazi gets it done.
You know, that must have been tight as well, because the elbow wasn't across of Malcolm X. It was kind of to the side. You've got to have the arm across, but still the pressure from Albazi must have been extremely tight because, as we saw, got the submission.
It's time for Step Up with Boost Mobile.
All right, as we see on the floor, he landed a few elbows, passed to full mount. Albazi just kind of Malcolm powers up, but then right here into the triangle. He's trying to get it there. It's not quite locked in. He pulls it across, puts the foot under the knee. That finalizes the position, and then from here pulls down on the head. As I was saying, generally you want that arm across, the right arm, but as I said, the squeeze was so powerful. When you pull down on the head, it really accentuates the choke, and that was that. Nicely done.
Lovely stuff. First triangle choke of 2020 in the UFC. We'll give him his moments when we come back.
Hold this. By the way. Yes. Excellent. Only the one coming for all of them. Amir. Habibi. Shakumaku. Huh? Hey.
UFC Fight Pass is bringing you 40 fights in 90 nights with a jam-packed schedule of live global combat sports this summer. Every week is Fight Week on UFC Fight Pass. Be first to see the stars of tomorrow from LFA, Invicta FC, Cage Warriors, Submission Underground and more. Step into our world. UFCFightPass.com/schedule. Time to make this one all official. Here's Joe.
Ladies and gentlemen, the end comes officially. 4 minutes, 42 seconds. Round number one. Submission by triangle choke for your winner, Amir, the Prince Albazi.
Congratulations to Amir Albazi, the third Iraqi fighter to step onto that hallowed UFC octagon canvas. Looking very happy with his corner, Farid Bashar.